This is probably going to be the last video that I post about the GoPro Karma drone issue. I'm going to be moving on to some other things, and I have to kind of give away the responsibility of trying to find a solution to this because, quite frankly, as shitty as it is, I do not think that there is going to be a legitimate solution to this. And unfortunately, if you have a Karma drone and it suddenly stopped pairing with its controller out of nowhere, most likely there's no solution for you, and GoPro has simply screwed you and are refusing to acknowledge the problem. That said, this is probably the last video that I'm going to post about it, and I'm going to be moving on to some other things. So we're going to cover a few topics in this video, and I hope to do this relatively quickly. First, I'm going to talk about what this issue is and the story behind what has happened. If you're completely familiar with all of this and you've been following my videos previously, then feel free to skip and go to the next timestamp. The next topic that we're going to talk about is a couple of things that we can do as customers who are having to deal with this problem to probably not reach any actual resolution, but at least to make it known that GoPro is responsible for this problem. And the third thing I want to do with my personal life going through a change right now, I'm kind of offering my drone up for grabs to a person that really will value it and someone who is really connected to the features and functionality of the drone, but maybe has been through this experience where your drone doesn't work and there's no resolution for you. So I have one that actually does work, and I'll get into that toward the end. First things first, what is going on with the Karma drone? Several years ago, out of nowhere, my own drone suddenly stopped pairing with the controller. It seemed to run some sort of update when I turned it on after months and months of not using it, and from that point on, the stabilizer would not operate and the controller wouldn't connect with the drone. So I immediately posted about this on a GoPro forum, and GoPro, within minutes of me posting about this problem, terminated my account and banned me from using the forum on GoPro.com. So that was the first red flag. That situation led me to start posting videos on this topic, where it became apparent that this was happening to thousands and thousands of people, and it was not just me. At that point, I created a forum that asked anyone who this problem is happening to fill out that form and kind of state what has gone on with your Karma and what the issue is. So at this point, we've had over 2,400 signatures on that form. And if this is a brand new problem to you and you haven't seen my videos or signed that form, please go to the link in the description below and fill it out. It takes 10 seconds, and we have a log of all of the customers who are affected by this problem. Now, about a year ago, we had 800 signatures, and we sent a letter to the GoPro headquarters that required a signature to be received, and it essentially said, please acknowledge this problem and let us know what we can do, if anything, and GoPro had no response to that. So we're now up to over 2,400 signatures. It's clear that this is a huge problem, but GoPro still has not said anything about it. It's possible that it was done intentionally by GoPro, but I don't have any evidence for that. Regardless of whether it was done intentionally or it's just some sort of defect that happened to start occurring to lots of people at the same time, GoPro has not done or said anything about it, and they have treated each customer differently in terms of dealing with the problem. Some customers they've asked to join a GoPro subscription, a monthly or annual subscription, in order to get help with their Karma. Others they have required to pay a particular fee, which is what they did for me. They made me sign up for a subscription, and then they also made me pay, I don't know, $100 or something to replace the body. However, other customers, they say they can't do anything about it. So there's been no consistency in how GoPro resolves this problem, and for the vast majority of people who are experiencing this issue, there's been absolutely no resolution for them, and essentially, you know, more than likely, you will, if you're watching this video, you're a person that has paid $500, $800, $1,200 or more for their drone, and suddenly it just stopped working, and there's nothing that you can do about it, and GoPro's refusing to help you. So this has been a very frustrating time for a lot of people, and I've been doing my best to post videos on this and try to communicate with GoPro, which they have not responded to anything. And essentially there's just been no resolution. So that gets us to today. And if this problem is happening to you, I apologize. This sucks. and more than likely there's not going to be a solution for you. So it's unfortunate, but that's really just the way that it is. So what can we do? First of all, if you're brand new to this problem, please sign the form. That will keep a log of everyone who is experiencing this problem, and maybe at some point somebody will come forward who's willing to take legal action against this as either a class action lawsuit or something like that. I don't know if that will ever happen, and there's no guarantees, but it's at least nice to have a list of every person that would like to be a part of a solution if there ever is one brought to the table. The second thing that I would ask everyone to do if you're experiencing this problem is 3 things that you can do online in a handful of minutes that may help to expose this problem. The first one is to file a complaint with the Better Business Bureau. The BBB is an organization that handles complaints about businesses and accredits them either with good customer service or bad customer service. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. It takes only a handful of minutes to fill out a simple online form on BBB's website for GoPro. GoPro already has terrible ratings on the Better Business Bureau, and I think that's representative of the fact that their customer service is horrendous and issues like this are arising. However, there's not been any complaints filed specifically around this issue, and I think it would be great to see hundreds of new complaints come in to the Better Business Bureau explaining that GoPro has refused to acknowledge the problem with their products, and that it's potentially possible that GoPro grounded their own products on purpose because they're refusing to say anything about what the problem is. So that's the first thing. Just link in the description below. Let's post on the Better Business Bureau, and let's see if we can raise some awareness about this through the BBB. The second thing that we can do is post on this Reddit thread. I'd really like to see this problem get exposed to the world. And it would be great if enough people participated in this thread that it would raise in the rankings, and people outside of the GoPro Karma community could actually see what a terrible company GoPro is. So I'll leave a link in the description below, and please post and participate in that Reddit thread. The third thing that we can do is join a Facebook group that we've created for people that this is happening to. I think this is just a way for us all to communicate with each other. If there's any solutions that have been brought forth, if anyone figures out how to resolve it, then that's a great place to post information about that. So I'll leave a link in the description below to the Facebook group, and if you'd like to join that and kind of just participate in the discussion, then feel free to do so. Apart from that, there's really not much that we can do. GoPro has completely disbanded their Karma department, so there's really nobody there to talk to. Their customer service doesn't really acknowledge any issues or concerns around the drone, and they haven't for multiple years. So essentially, if this is happening to you, more than likely you're just out of luck. In the last part of this video, I am going to offer my fully functional Karma drone to the world. If you are someone who still, despite everything that GoPro has done or lack thereof, still love the Karma drone and its functionality and its capabilities, then this is an opportunity for you to have mine. I am going to be changing my life around. I'm moving into a van, and although my drone does still work, and I just flew it this morning, I'll show you the footage, it's simply just a little bit bulky to keep in a van when I'm doing the van life thing, and I think it would be best if I relinquish my feeling obligated toward resolving this problem, and quite frankly, I'm either not going to have a drone or I'm going to get a DJI. So if you want a working Karma drone, shoot me a message or comment on this video, and I would love for it to go to someone who has experienced this problem and who's been screwed over by GoPro, but for whatever reason it's very important to you to actually continue using this type of drone, and mine does work. So if you're interested in getting your hands on it, I am going to be giving it to somebody in this community. The last thing that I want to leave you with in this video, because more than likely this is the last video that I'm going to post about the Karma drone, and I'm going to give you a little bit of philosophy, and actually I think this topic of more philosophical thought and ideas is going to tie nicely into any future videos that I may decide to post that aren't specifically about the Karma drone. And that is, energy goes where attention flows. So you have to ask yourself consistently, where are you putting your intention? And since I kind of became inadvertently became the spokesperson for this problem, I've really developed this idea of victim mentality where I kind of feel angry and a little frustrated, and every time I look at this drone, it like symbolizes to me the fact that this big company screwed over all of its customers. And while essentially that is true, I no longer want to hold on to that. So I think it's important that anyone that this has happened to, or for any other reason in your life, we really have to ask ourselves, what is our intention and what kind of ideologies are we holding? And for me, it's no longer worth it to try and extract some sort of solution or some sort of retribution from this company that has screwed over thousands and thousands of its customers. And I think it's more important that at this point for me, that I just let it go and I give up this product and I give up this fight and I just move on to focusing on something that is more important to me, and more important to my health and my lifestyle. So if this has happened to you and you're part of this huge group of people who have just been absolutely screwed over by GoPro, I'm sorry, that sucks, and we're all in it together. Unfortunately, there's probably not going to be a solution to this, and I think it's important that we all accept that fact and just stop buying stuff from GoPro. And don't hold in yourself some sort of idea that one day we're gonna get back at GoPro. Just disassociate yourself from GoPro. Don't buy their products and don't use their services and don't expect anything from them. Of course, we can post on Reddit and we can post on the Better Business Bureau to maybe bring this to the world so that more people can see that GoPro really doesn't respect or value its customers. But for yourself, even after years, I'm still getting messages like, I'm so angered by this, and what solutions are there, because I need to use my drone. And ultimately, like, just give up. just give up, because it's not going to happen. And GoPro is a huge company, and it's just not worth it. It's not worth the fight that you're going to hold within yourself over something that costs $500 or $1,000 or $1,500. Unfortunately, at this point, it's probably better to just let it go. So in the future, I may post videos that are more philosophical or more about travel or more about van life, possibly. But my journey and my saga surrounding finding a resolution to the Karma drone controller connectivity problem, for me, that's coming to an end. So I'll just leave it with that. Thank you guys all for watching and for being a part of this. I appreciate all of you that have reached out about this problem, offering information in one place or another, and to everybody who has commented on these videos. And again, like, my sincerest apologies to everyone who's just been totally screwed with this purchase. So that's it. I think that's the end of the journey. Unfortunately, I don't see a resolution happening for this, but let's move on. Let's move on.